It's August 2022 and things are a lot more positive these days for tourism and expat life here in Thailand compared to just a few months ago. I can see a light starting to emerge towards the end of the tunnel and the feel-good factor is definitely starting to creep back in. But that still isn't good enough for a large number of moaning FARANGs who are still finding things to whine about. Big bad Thailand is still really annoying them. In this video, I'm going to give you a few tips and ideas on how you can improve your life and be more positive. And number one is to stop moaning. Bars and nightlife opening till 4 o'clock in the morning. That is absolutely fabulous. Think back to a year ago. We didn't even know when or if the nightlife and bars were going to reopen. I know it says September the 1st, but you and I know there's plenty of places in Bangkok and around Thailand that are open way past that time already. TM6 is none of that. Visa on arrival's been extended, tourist numbers are rising by the day, and the big one for me, even though I don't smoke weed, is that weed is pretty much legal and you can buy it everywhere. That is going to bring a lot of people to Thailand. Do you think the legalisation of weed has done a lot of positive things to bring tourists back?
Oh yeah. The legalize of weed, man. That shit is gonna bring a lot of people here, like for real, man. Because for me, I stopped smoking weed like 2011, but I know how it feel like to tell you you can smoke weed like cigarette. They're gonna get more tourists more than before ever, man.
I think it makes Thailand like the full package, because before you could come, you could chill on beaches, you could go raving, you could go to parties, you could stay up all night. Yeah. It's like it's made it a whole package.
They made it a total package now. Like when you smoke the weed, you get high, everything. So you get whatever you want. Like in Pattaya City, like it's something else too. It's getting packed day by day. Yeah. That weed is gonna bring a lot of people here in Thailand.
Yeah, there's a lot of negative stuff about weeds that they're trying to push, but I think people don't realise that it's all about getting tourists here to spend money. Yeah. I know people say, oh, it's all about the money, and they moan that, you know, Thailand only wants your money, but they're not going to give things for free, are they?
For real, man. They live on tourists, so most of their economy is on tourists. They have that mentality and they're focused on that. And so when you come here, your money talks, and that's for real, man. If you don't have the money, you can live in Thailand. In Bangkok, no, there's no possibility. And no one will give it to you too. It's very difficult.
Sako, it's starting to rain. I've got one more quick question. You go out clubbing in Bangkok, what are your top places?
Oh, the top places I've gone clubbing in Bangkok, Sugar Club, and for my first time at Sugar Club, or my second time, yesterday when I went to Penny Club, which is my first time. In Pattaya too, I went to some other club like 808. Yeah, I love that club a lot, man. Yeah, it's one of the few best I've ever seen in Thailand for now.
Brilliant, man. Sako.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Sako.
Yeah.
It was about 2 weeks ago that the tourism minister said that the ministry is pushing for an extension of pubs and bars closing time to 4 AM from 2 AM in 8 provinces to stimulate spending by foreign tourists. Khao San Road will be the pilot area starting September the 1st if given the green light. But that still isn't good enough for a lot of people on social media moaning as usual. Why don't they word it that they are doing it to increase the amount of time tourists have to enjoy themselves on holiday, instead of blatantly saying it's all about the money, which we know it is. Ooh, he's caught the government out there. Treat people like guests instead of cash cows, and they'll probably even spend a lot more cash. Do they seriously believe that an extra 2 hours between 2 and 4 is going to stimulate spending by foreign tourists? Typical Thailand, it's all about extracting the cash from the foreigner. Lie land, as usual, all about the money. Jesus Christ. And then this person still isn't happy about the opening times. The sooner they get back to all night opening, the better. If, like me, you're active on social media, then you'll definitely have read many idiotic comments about Thailand. A few months ago, when Thailand hadn't yet abolished the Thailand pass or quarantine, a lot of people said they were going to take themselves and their money to Cambodia, Vietnam or the Philippines. Now, months later, I'm wondering, have any of them gone? I very much doubt it. Will they go? I very much doubt it. Why won't they go? Because Cambodia, Vietnam and the Philippines is not Thailand. So if you're living in Thailand long term, or if you're retired, it's important to find hobbies and activities to fill up your time in a constructive and meaningful way. I'm going to give you a few tips and ideas on how you can do this. Taking up Thai boxing is a great way to release pent-up aggression, either on the punch bag, on your sparring partners, or on the pads with your trainer, depending of course on your skill and fitness level. I know a great gym around the back of Rama 4 Road in Klong Toi. Well, if you want to add a bit of Muay Thai training to your schedule here in Thailand, then I recommend Rompo Gym here in the heart of Klong Toi, one of the most famous gyms in the country. They got training Monday to Saturday at 4 p.m, Sunday at 6 p.m. But if you're just a beginner, take it easy because it's not for the faint-hearted. Yoga, Tai Chi. These are great ways to concentrate the mind and increase your flexibility. There are plenty of groups in Lumpini Park and Benjisi Park, and you can join them for free. I'm sure they don't mind a foreigner slipping in at the back. Meditation, great for de-stressing, great for cleansing the mind, the body and the soul, great for helping you sleep, especially if you do it last thing at night. Personally, it was never for me. I couldn't sit still for that long, even 5 minutes. My dad used to love doing it. He did it 3 times a day, and I like to think that that is how he has got to the advanced stage that he is at now, meditation. Even now I have problems getting out of bed early. In fact, I have problems getting into bed as well. It used to drive my dad mad when I was a kid. He always used to say, you should be getting out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning to seize the day, as he said. When I was in London years ago, I had a neighbour who would blast classical music out at 6 o'clock in the morning. I once knocked on the door to complain I'd been up all night, and his excuse was that he was a morning person. God, he was annoying. I've just bumped into Andy here in Fortune Town. Andy, how important is it, if you're an expat retiree or someone with a lot of time on their hands, to find things constructive to do? And tell us a little bit about what you do here.
Well, I think it is important to fill up your time, actually. If you have a lot of free time, it's a good thing for your own mental health, really, rather than just sitting around doing nothing. But in my case, I like doing things, so I did get involved with a group here called the Bangkok Community Help Foundation, and what they do is distribute food on a daily basis. There's 500 food packages a day, which they distribute around the Democracy Monument area and all around there in Klong Toi communities. They also improve people's housing, they do up schools, they provide emergency care. People during COVID were struggling to get access to oxygen bottles, for example, so there's numerous families that they help by bringing oxygen to them so that these guys could breathe, taking them to hospitals, literally taking care of them on a case-by-case basis. So it's an all-encompassing foundation. What they do on a daily basis, as I said, is feed people, but anyone can approach them.
I met a lot of people who have done volunteer teaching, soy dogs, soy cats, homeless. Yep. How does someone get into this? Where do they look online, for example?
Well, I think, again, it's a simple Google search, basically. You can just search volunteer help groups, Bangkok. I think that would give you a basic list to start from, and then you can work your way down those lists, talk to people, either give them a phone call or go and see them and then see which one you feel most comfortable with, really.
Okay, cheers Andy. I'll put a few links in the description for places you can volunteer at, and thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure. Cheers.
Great suggestion, get some guitar lessons. You could become the next Lam Morrison, Ed Carabao, even Lee Shamrock if you've got that kind of time on your hands. There are lots of places to get guitar lessons, loads of music workshops you can attend and do jam sessions with other like-minded expats struggling to get those 3 chords together. I'm at Fortune Town in Ramen 9, and this is the ideal place to pick up your first acoustic guitar. And the kind of guys who work in these shops are the kind of guys you can ask to source yourself a decent guitar tutor. It's a no-brainer. There's a very healthy arts and creative scene going here in Bangkok, and if you're looking to get into a bit of that, a great place to start would be the Jim Thompson House and Museum. Not only will you be exposed to some really fine art that could be inspiring for you, you'll also learn a little bit about the man's life, which, let's be honest, was a little bit dodgy. If you're a budding artist, then there are plenty of places to get to the canvas. There's lots of art workshops and art classes to be had around the city. You can hone your skills with paintbrushes, pencils, pastels, crayons, chalk, charcoal, and even your bare feet. I'll leave a link in the description. I'm with Frank here in Siam Square. I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you think it's really important for expats who have retired here to find hobbies to fill up their time?
Yeah, of course. Else you will end in a bar every day and use your money or lose your money. So a hobby is really important, I think, when you stay here for a long time especially.
What do you do in your free time, Frank? I notice you've got a camera with you there.
Yeah, this is my number one hobby, running around, filming things and filming, later editing, uploading to YouTube and other social media platforms. So this needs a lot of time, so I use my free time for something useful, in my mind, useful.
So does that mean you have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel called Franco7. I already reached 1,000 subscribers and I'm really happy about this. Yeah, this is my channel.
He's got 1K subscribers as of yesterday. I think we need some more. So should we be asking them to subscribe?
Of course, I already appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. And as you can see, my English isn't so good, so sorry for that. Also, when I'm walking around, I'm sometimes talking in English. It's not perfect, but I hope you still like it.
Well, you heard it here, Franco7. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Thanks, Frank.
Thanks.
However experienced you may be, riding a bike on Bangkok's roads is a potential death sentence. Those streets are absolute mayhem at the best of times, an ideal way to shorten your life. But at the other end of the scale, jogging around the park of an evening could be seen as a way to prolong your life. People who sit in bars drinking alcohol every night may argue that there's more chance of them dying of a heart attack while out jogging around the park than there is of them dying of cirrhosis of the liver from alcohol poisoning. Nobody wins. I read a post that said for every day that you sit in a bar and drink alcohol here, it knocks 20 minutes off your life until the day you die. And I tried 10 different calculators and I couldn't quite work that one out. So what's the ideal compromise between those three activities? Stroll around a park drinking a beer while wearing a crash helmet. I know you can't do that because booze is banned in parks in Bangkok anyway. You could probably get away with it if you poured the beer into a water bottle. Security will just think you're a crazy FARANG walking around drinking a bottle of piss. They'll point at you and laugh and say, look at him, abusing his kidneys. Yeah, you get away with that. Everyone's a winner, except your liver, of course. Before I did this video, I put it out on social media. I asked what was the best way that you can improve your lifestyle living here as an expat in Thailand long term. A lot of the answers centered around alcohol, bars and whoring. And if you're the type of guy who moved here because of those three things, then it is pretty difficult to give it up. You know, it's an addiction. There is a big expat alcohol problem in Thailand. I did a video on it a few months ago. I'll leave a link to it in the description. But I also did a video about giving up alcohol and explored some of the avenues you can take if you want to become teetotal. Yes, it is a big positive if you can give up booze, but not everyone wants to give up booze. Some people enjoy drinking socially. Well, I do hope you can take something positive away from this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Don't forget to like, share and comment. If you want to support me and support the channel, there are links in the description to Ko-fi, Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal. That just leaves me to say thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.